There's something burning under the surface of every social startup that Silicon Valley giants keep missing. You feel it too, don't you? That gnawing frustration when you watch the same tech behemoths chase user numbers and IPOs, all while the world sinks deeper into inequality, environmental collapse, and human disconnection. The painful truth is this: traditional startups and the Silicon Valley machine have built their empires on chasing profit alone, often sacrificing meaning, purpose, and the raw power of human impact. And if that doesn't hit like a hammer, consider this: the real fire of change, the kind that can shake the foundations of our fractured world, is coming from social startups. Those brave, relentless founders who refuse to accept the world as it is, who reject the pointless rat race, and instead chase something so much rawer, so much more dangerous: true transformation. Every day, social entrepreneurs wrestle with doubts, sleepless nights, the crushing skepticism of investors who only see dollar signs, not dreams or destinies. Most investors want quick growth, easy wins, fast exits. But social startups? They are the underdogs who stare down those impossible odds and say, "We're here not to play it safe. We're here to rewrite the rules." Their pain is real, struggling to find funding that respects their values, fighting to build business models where impact doesn't just live in a report, but breathes in real lives changed. The pressure of proving that doing good and doing well in business isn't a myth, but a gritty, brutal necessity. If you're a founder watching this, feeling like you're too different for the shiny investor pitch decks and too idealistic for the cold numbers game, know this: your discomfort is the signpost pointing directly at your greatness. Here's the raw, unvarnished secret of why social startups are outpacing Silicon Valley. It's not because they chase the latest tech buzzwords or meme culture. It's because they dare to tether their work to deeper truths: deep empathy, radical collaboration, and relentless focus on real problems that cut through the noise. Unlike traditional startups that obsess over scaling fast, social startups prioritize scaling right. That means building communities, igniting powerful human connections, and shifting systems instead of just tweaking them. Silicon Valley's formula is optimization. Find a problem, build a scalable tech solution, sell ads or data. Social startups? They sweat the complex stuff, the messy, human-centered work of equity, justice, and sustainability, knowing full well it's a steeper climb, but the only climb worth making. The winners here are the ones who fundamentally reject the system's cold promise of freedom. They know that the glossy freedom Silicon Valley sells is a cage polished with shiny perks and endless distractions. Social entrepreneurs break those bars by embracing sovereignty of will, owning their vision with brutal honesty, and refusing to compromise for the comfort of quick money or easy metrics. Here's what the system forgot to teach you: success rooted only in profit is a hollow victory. Real success is measured in the way lives transform, communities thrive, and ecosystems regenerate. The most powerful social startups don't just talk about change, they are the change. They build solutions where power is shared, where leadership flows like water, and where impact ripples deeper than any afterglow of viral hype. If your mind is screaming, "How do I get there? How do I build something that lasts, that matters?" listen carefully. The path is not in imitating Silicon Valley's flashy playbook. It's in radical unlearning. Tear down every assumption about what startup success looks like. Stop chasing metrics that don't move souls. Start obsessing over relationships. Find your few, the partners, investors, customers, and collaborators who burn as fiercely as you do. The people who will challenge you, hold you accountable, and fuel your relentless hunger for meaning over money. Because here's the brutal truth: the world hasn't lost brilliance, it's starved for connection. Social startups win because they don't scale noise, they amplify essence. Every day, social founders reject waiting for permission to innovate. In their pain, they discover power. These founders don't wait for the system to change. They become the change, crafting autonomous networks that transcend geography, race, and outdated rules. This isn't about building companies that line pockets. It's about crafting ecosystems where the misunderstood find each other, where radical ideas meet radical support, where difference is not erased but celebrated as the source of strength. Imagine a world where the network isn't centralized in a high-rise hustle culture office, but blooms across borders and backgrounds, a living web of shared souls and shared missions. That is where the future lives, and that is exactly why social startups are crushing conventional tech giants. Here's the most dangerous advice you'll get today. Don't chase belonging. Don't build your company trying to fit into the existing mold. Comfort is the enemy. Align with the few who burn as you do, and let everything else fall away. Be ruthless in your sovereignty. Question every rule, every best practice, and even your own beliefs. Because transformation doesn't come from compliance, it comes from rebellion. Rebellion is messy, it's exhausting, it's lonely, but it's the only way out. The social startup founders who are winning right now are the ones who are patient. They know this is a marathon, not a sprint. They play the long game with the quiet certainty that true impact, true liberation, takes time. Silicon Valley worships speed, social startups worship depth. If you're sitting there doubting your ability to find the right investors, the right partners, know this: the right ones are out there. Not the flashy venture capitalists addicted to easy profits, but those who see your fire, who believe freedom isn't a slogan, but a practice. Your job is to be patient, selective, and fearless in alignment. Cohesive networks are the real power, an autonomous support system where every link elevates the other. This is the rebellion against the old guard that rewards mediocrity and punishes difference. Social startups are cracks in the facade, highlight missed by billion-dollar algorithms, shining because of their raw humanity. Never forget the massive misunderstanding social founders face. The world doesn't know how to handle extraordinary individuals. It tries to fit them into boxes. But the most dangerous social startups don't get boxed. They explode those boxes open. They turn their brokenness, their outsider status, their isolation into power, becoming signals in a noise-perfect world. Their courage lights a path for the rest of us. Their networks, not their valuations, are their true capital. Imagine joining a movement, not a company, not a fleeting hype cycle, but a movement where leadership is individual, fiercely sovereign, and fiercely connected. A network where rare brilliance finds rare brilliance, where loneliness turns into a powerful collective roar. Here's the final, undeniable truth that Silicon Valley refuses to admit out loud. Technology without humanity is a dead end. The future belongs to those who build with heart, who center impact, who refuse to ignore the pain and the complexity of this broken world. Social startups are not just outperforming Silicon Valley, they're outliving it, out-evolving it, and out-creating it, because their foundations are rooted in liberation, not in control. When you build your startup on the soil of freedom, when your mission is a blazing rebellion against comfort and conformity, you don't just grow, you transform. You become a force that no algorithm can replicate. If it feels impossible today, if the weight of the system wants to crush your dream, remember this: true freedom is not given, it is taken, it is made. Social startups are proof that the real revolution doesn't come from the center of power. It comes from edges so marginal they are invisible to most, but so vital they can't be stopped. Here's a call to all founders, investors, leaders watching right now. Dare to burn rather than bend. Dare to fail on your own terms. Dare to build networks of the few who believe as fiercely as you do. Because this movement is not for the many, it's for the ones who refuse to be comfortable, for those who won't settle, for those who know that the future only belongs to those willing to build it anew. Don't just watch social startups disrupt. Be part of the force that sets them on fire. This is the moment to be sovereign, to be critical, to be transformative. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. The world is waiting not for the next tech fad, but for the rare few who dare to become more. Your pain, your doubt, your drive, they are the fuel. Use them to build a startup that isn't just a business, but a movement. A movement that outshines Silicon Valley, not in money, but in meaning. The power is yours. Take it.